We are having with us Sri KV, Corporate KV Ajarya, the President of All India Bank Pensioners and Retirees Confederation. Here, write to him, Sri Subrata Sarkar, coming from Bengal. He is the General Secretary for the last NADAF, representing the State Bank of India retirees. He is our advisor, national advisor of AIBPARC.
It is an all-cadre organization, because once you retire, all are pensioners only. It is only one homogeneous community. There cannot be any kind of different classifications, both legally as well as even in spirit. There cannot be any classification because everybody is a pensioner. Gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, the main thing is that when we signed the settlement in 1993, pension settlement in the banking industry, we demanded from the, at the time as serving organization AIBPARC, we demanded that pension as third benefit as available in State Bank of India. But the IBA, the Indian Banks Association, and the government very clearly told us that we cannot give you pension as third benefit. We will give you pension as second benefit only, as available to central government pensioners and RBI pensioners. And very categorically they made this statement, and in the pension settlement also very clearly it is mentioned that the pension scheme in the banking industry will be exactly on the lines of the central government pension scheme. And even in the regulation, very clearly it speaks about the regulation 56 very clearly says that any doubt in regard to implementation of pension scheme in the banking industry, reference will be made to central government pension rules. So it is exactly on that lines. In fact, once the pension scheme was introduced, we were very clearly told that now onwards, whoever is recruited, those who were recruited after 1995, though the settlement was signed in 1993, the regulations came into effect from 1995, and the pension scheme was made effective from 1st January 86 onwards. But those who joined the bank after 1995, but they were not given any choice for option, pension option. They were told very clearly that you have to, there is no question of any PF option, you have to accept only pension. So again, there was no option for the people to go for PF. Everybody was taken to the pension scheme after 1995. Unfortunately, later on the new pension scheme came. The government introduced that. Because it was introduced in the government, the same thing was also made applicable to the bank staff, both officers and award staff. And they were also told that now onwards you will not get the old pension scheme. The old pension scheme is called defined benefit pension scheme. The pension scheme is defined. Instead of that, they said that defined contribution pension scheme. A new pension scheme was introduced, and the same was made applicable to the bank pensioners also. So, whatever the government did, whether it is advantageous or disadvantageous, we thought that both would come to us. But unfortunately, what happened was that so many improvements were done for the government pensions later on. Apart from their pension being revised with every pay commission, and RBI pension also being upwardly revised with every wage revision, for the bank pensioners, so far, right, for the last 30 years, our basic pension has not been revised. Our basic pension is frozen on the day of our retirement. For 30 years, no, not even a single paise upward revision for the bank pensioners, whereas periodically with pay commission and wage revision of RBI, for them the updation is given. Not only that, later on the government introduced what is called upgradation of the pension. That is, if a person has completed 80 years of service, instead of last down 50% basic pay, it had become another 20%. Then 95 years, then 100 years, full pension, pension like that. For us, even upgradation is not given. And we were getting DA with quarterly when we were in service. But in government, for the pensioners, the DA is revised half yearly. Because it is half yearly revised for the government pensioners, the same half yearly revision for the bank pensions also. A thing which is not advantageous to us has been we were made to accept it. And when our then General Secretary in 1994, when he wanted certain improvements in the pension scheme, and he wrote a letter to the Indian Banks Association, the reply came that we have agreed to introduce pension scheme in the banking industry only on the condition that it will be introduced as a second benefit. Second benefit means you have to surrender your CPF. You have to surrender your CPF. In lieu of surrendering the CPF, you will be given pension, as is the case for the government pensioners and the RBI pensioners. He wanted certain improvements. Again they said, no, we cannot make any improvements. You cannot get any improvements in your pension scheme because what is not available to the government pensioners, what is not available to the RBI pensioners, you will not get it. So our only grouse is that when you are putting this kind of stiff conditions and what is not advantageous to us, you are imposing it on us. But the beneficial points, the beneficial kind of developments in the pension scheme, whether it is updation or whether it is upgradation or whether it is certain other benefits being given, all those things are deprived for the bank pensions. So we have been making appeal, we have been meeting the Department of Financial Service, the Ministry, even we have met the Honorable Union Finance Minister, not once, twice we had met. We had given a very detailed petition also. Of course, the Honorable Union Finance Minister was quite considerate. She made us to talk to the IBA, and the main problem is that the bank pensioners issues, we are an organization, the bank pensions organization, and today the number of bank pensioners are almost more than 7 lakhs, even more than the serving employees number. And we are representing the maximum members of the pensioners of the banking industry. Along with we have constituted what is called Coordination of Bank Pensioners and Retirees organizations. State Bank of India is the largest constituent of this CBPRO. What we call as CBPRO means Coordination of Bank Pensioners and Retirees organizations. And along with the State Bank of India, AIBPARC, and along with us there are other organizations called Forum of Retired Bank Employees, AIRBA, and RBOC. So there are 5-6 major apex retirees organizations. We have all come together, and we have been telling IBA that you have to have discussion about the retirees issues with the retirees. But unfortunately, the IBA is not ready to have any negotiation with us. So on the one hand, they are not ready to give any negotiation status to the duly constituted, registered organizations of the retirees. In a civil society, any organization which is duly constituted will have the right to represent the views and difficulties and concerns of the members. And the body which is going to redress these grievances should call us and discuss with us. The same Indian Banks Association had sent communication to all the banks that at bank level you have the grievances redressal machinery. But At IBA level, at the all India level, they say no, we will not discuss with the bank pensioners. So our first and foremost demand is that we should have the negotiation right. Yeah, you should recognize and respect the retirees, bank retirees community as number one. And you should give the benefits which we are entitled. When there is a clear regulation in the bank pensioners, bank employees pension regulation is a statutory regulation, it is mandatory, and it is passed by the Parliament with the approval of the Reserve Bank of India and officially gazetted. And if you go through the bank employees pension regulation 35(1), bank regulation number 35(1), it very clearly provides for pension updation. It says basic pension and additional pension shall be updated as per formulae in the appendix 1. So everything is very clearly spelled out, but implementation is not done. Not done for 30 years. For 30 years they are not implemented. In the process, they have forced many of the retirees at this age. Many of the retirees are now above 80 years of age. And from 1986 to now, almost 2 lakh pensioners have left the world without getting the benefit of pension updation. They were getting the same pension which they got at the time of their retirement. So some of the individuals had gone to the court, and now it is in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also, the case is being heard in Supreme Court. But the point is that, should we be compelled to go to the judiciary? Should it not be sorted out, settled amicably by discussion with the retirees organizations? Should we not have the negotiation rights? And along with that, one very, very peculiar thing, very, very hurting type of development is that in the 10th bipartite settlement, which was signed in 2015, when the wages were revised for the serving employees, the basic pay normally used to be, there used to be a load, and the basic pay used to consist of the extra load with the every wage revision, because some increment has to be done, which used to be normally, if the total load factor is agreed 15% or 17%, it used to be normally at least 10% of that load would go for the construction of the basic pay. But the IBA and the government insisted that from 10th bipartite settlement onwards, the load factor for basic pay was reduced drastically. Just making it to start with 2% and maximum now 3%. And the remaining amount is given as special allowance, and that special allowance attracts DA, and special allowance is given to across all the cadre, right from the sub-staff to the general manager. But it will not be reckoned for the purpose of calculation of the basic pension. Basic pension is 50% of the last drawn salary, last drawn basic pay. In fact, the special allowance should have become a component of the basic pay. Now, in the process, the basic pension effectively got reduced from 50% to hardly 33%. So people are made to lose very heavily in the calculation of the basic pension itself. Forget about updation. Even the 50% basic pension, instead of giving 50%, it has effectively become only 33%, because the major portion of the wage revision is given as special allowance, which does not attract, which will not be recorded for the calculation of the basic pension. Now, these are all the grievances, and all these cases ultimately we are compelled to go to the court. There is what is called, the government very often says that there is a senior citizens litigation policy, where it is very clear the objective of the senior citizen litigation policy is that the senior citizens should not be unnecessarily forced to go to the court whatever their issues are there, they should be sorted out amicably with the talks. Instead of doing that, though the senior citizen education policy of the government is there, unfortunately, on any issue and every issue, whether it is pension updation, whether it is special allowance, whether it is gratuity matter, whether it is resign is, those who have put in 20 years of service, resign is for them the basic pension, option for pension, for anything and everything, people were made to go to the court. And this is one kind of a very retrograde step by the government and the IBA. So, all these matters we have explained in our press release, and we only wish that, of course, the General Council will, the general body of the AIBPARC will meet. There will be deliberations. What further course of action we have to take? But only thing that at this age, because many of us are now even above 80, making us to come to the streets. We have done demonstrations. We have conducted dharnas. We have in Jantar Mantar, in every state capital, in important cities, and mass petitions, everything is given. All kind of educational programs we have conducted. But with all that, and then also making pleas and appeals to the IBA, to the ministry, to the minister, to the prime minister, to everybody. But the one section, of course, the Prime Minister also lodged, the Union Finance Minister also on record has stated that we are the financial warriors. They say that bank people have contributed a lot to the overall economic development after nationalization, the way in which the banks opened the branches in the nooks and corners of the country, even in the most either the kind of border areas. The Jawans are there. Along with the Jawans, the bank people are also there, opening branches and serving the common man. And the kind of transformation, economic development that has taken place in the country after nationalization, with all bank people serving the common man of the country, and the overall economic development of the country, whether it is in industry or agriculture or green revolution, white revolution, industrial revolution, anything and everything has started because of the bank employees and officers' contributions. That section, if it is being denied, what is given to the person, to the government pensioners or RBI pensioners, it is a discrimination. Yeah, discrimination. So our fight is against discrimination. Why we should be discriminated? When you take the best from us, and when we have done our best for the overall economic development of this country, and when you say that you are the financial warriors of the country, merely giving kudos to us is not enough. You have to show it in action also. You have to, we are not having any kind of health kind of relief. If they have introduced what is called some medical insurance scheme, the entire premium has to be paid by us. And the premium is almost costing 2 months minimum. Whatever pension we get, the 2 months pension goes for the premium itself. And the premium has to be paid by the pensioners. Whereas for the serving employees, the entire amount is paid by the bank. In central government, there is a what is called CGHS scheme. Central government health scheme is there. Unlimited kind of medical treatment expenses are reimbursed for the central government pensioners. Even the chairmen of the bank in banks, for them there is unlimited medical relief is there. But for the from general manager to the sub-staff level, absolutely not even a single paisa medical relief is given. And whatever insurance scheme introduced, the entire premium has to be borne by us. Now, these are all the very, very kind of a total condemnation and discrimination of a section of the society which has done its best for the growth of the nation. So, with a lot of anguish, we are talking about these issues, and that's why I said concerning the issues, burning issues of the pensioners, and this triennial conference is being held when I should say that the limit to the patience of the retirees is bank retirees is almost over. Either there is a sort of helplessness or frustration or anger. And we only hope that we will get some justice definitely from the courts, because we are compelled to go to the court. At least the government should stop. We should make such arrangements so that we are not unnecessarily spend money at this age from our pocket and file the case in the court and wait for justice for many years, because though court will give, we have full faith in the judiciary, but then it is a long process. If a case is filed, the case regarding updation which was filed way back in 2008 is yet to be completed today. So 20 years gone. In that 20 years, many people have left the world. Even the original petitions are no more. To this kind of situation, we are pushed to. So anyway, as an organization, with the CBPRO, which is the largest combination of the bank pensioners, along with State Bank of India, AIBPARC, and RBONC, FORB, and all that. We are a very, very formidable force, and we hope that even at this point of time, the government would wake up. The IBA, Indian Banks Association, will render justice to us, and matters all these issues will be deliberated, and it will be addressed by the former judge of Kerala High Court, Justice Arun, and then we have got good support from our serving organization also, All India Bank Officers Confederation, which decided to start the Bank Retirees Organization. And though All India Bank Officers Confederation basically for officers only, but when they started the retirees organization, they said it will be all cadre, because once you retire, everybody is a retiree. So it is not only for retired officers, it is for retired officers and other members, employees. And it was founded in 2012, and when Mr. Nadov was the General Secretary of AIBPARC, he is also our advisor. He is the General Secretary of State Bank, Federation of State Bank of India Pensions Association, the largest retirees association in the country, and he is also the advisor of AIBPARC and the joint convener. He and myself, we are the joint conveners of the CBPRO. So as CBPRO and as AIBPARC, and as the largest combination of retirees, we will continue our efforts and only hope that the government and IBA would properly respond. Friends, we request you to spread our message of not only grievances and our distress, not only to the masses, because some of the people have got that bank people are very well off and all that. It is not like that. Actually, the story today is that the bank people are the lowest paid among the white collar jobs. If you see, even the bank serving the employees, their salary, if it is compared with any other government employee salary or the other public sector undertaking, this one, bank employees are not getting proper salary. The revision is very, very meager, and because the salary is already very much down, our pension is already 50% of basic pension is much less as compared to what the government pensions are getting. Added to that, the updation is not given, so that has made the position still worse. So we hope that we will get justice from the judiciary. At the same time, the government which speaks about governance, they should will not only talk about governance, they should really do governance. And doing the governance is really responding to the grievances of the most affected people properly and at a proper time. Thank you, friend. And of course, there is a kind of propaganda that no, yours is a funded scheme, and it will not be possible for the banks to bear the extra burden and all that. It is not a funded scheme. A fund is created only for the reason that the defined benefit what we have to get. Our CPF is transferred. What we were otherwise supposed to get as third benefit, that is the CPF. Our CPF have surrendered. That CPF has been transferred to a fund. And any shortfall comes in that, Regulation 11 of the Bank Pensions Employees Regulation very clearly says that any shortfall in the pension fund should be made good by the respective banks at the close of the financial year. And they have to make proper provision for that. Banks are ready to make provision for NPS, non-performing assets. Whereas, and the right of them, in the name of clearing the balance sheet, more than 16 lakhs crores of rupees has been written off. And the corporates were made to gain. The corporates, in the name of haircut, the write-off has been huge. Banks were made to bleed. And if banks have got money to write off 16 lakh crores, for updation, the total cost is not even about 4,000 crores. That 4,000 crores can't the banks manage, and the banks are making huge profits now. No less than the Honorable Union Finance Minister and the Secretary Department of Finance Service has told that the present year itself more than 2 lakh crores profit the banks have made. And private sector banks are also doing very well, and they are all members of the IBA. And again, discrimination between private sector bank pensioners and public sector bank pensioners. Now, of course, the IBA had introduced what is called some ex gratia amount, a small amount, pending updation. Even that is not extended to the private sector banks. So these are all the issues. We request you to spread this message, and we also invite you to put questions. Any questions is that, you can please put the questions.
My name is G.D. Nadab. I am the General Secretary of our All India Pensioners Federation and also Joint Convener of the CPPRO and the Advisor of the AIBPARC. I would like to stress on only one point, that today, in any industry, in the banking industry also, if the discussion has to take place on the service conditions of the employees, that at the bank level, of course, structured forums are there. At the industry level also with the IBA, there is a structured forum. Whereas in case of the pensioners, there is no structured forum available for to discuss about the pensioners issues. Forced to go to the court and spend lot of money. And when these issues are again brought for the discussions, and these managements have taken a stand that it is a sub judice, so we will not discuss with this. Then who will discuss with all these things? Therefore, because of the crux of the problem today is that there is no one to take care of the pensioners issues. From 1993 or 1995 onwards, so many the salary revisions have taken place in respect of the, it is the now 13th bipartite is due as far as the serving employees are concerned. Whereas after signing the agreement in 1993, up till now, with of course UFU, up till now, no improvement has taken place as far as the pension of the bank pensioners are considered. Today, a general manager who has retired about 20-25 years back, and the general and the clerical staff who is retiring today, if you compare their pension, the general manager who has retired about 20-25 years will be drawing less pension as compared to the clerical staff today who is retiring. This is on account of the non-updation. And we are not demanding anything new today. what has already been there in the Bank Employees Pension Regulation 1995, which has been told by our President that it is a regulation, it is a statutory duty of the managements to upgrade or updation they has to take place according to regulation section 35(1) of the Bank Employees Pension Regulations. That is not taking place. Therefore, our first demand is that they must create a forum at the IBA level or maybe at the government level. You call it by anything, whether it is a negotiating forum, whether it is the redressal forum, any forum you can name it. And CBPRO, as I have already been told, with the AIBPARC and with the State Bank pensioners, we are the largest the organization as per the pensioners are considered. Like United Forum of Bank Unions for the serving organization, we too have a number of organizations in the pensioners, and who, they must call us. They must also listen to us. You are aware that now that the 13th bipartite is going to take place with the IBA shortly. Already a communication has come from the government. It is a right time that maybe in this conference of the AIBPARC, a historic decision will be taken that the CBPRO, along with the other similarly placed organization in the pensioners, we are going to submit our own charter of demand to the IBA, and they have to call us for the discussion, whatever name they are going to give it, that forum must be created. Otherwise, many number of court cases will increase, and after winning in the court, managements have a lot of money. They can again appeal that. As has been told earlier only that in case of the senior citizens, that they should not be forced to go to the court. And if the court decisions are coming, then they should not appeal also that. Therefore, one case which from the 2008, which is pending, which is called as the Singla case, which of course on the 29th is the next date at the Supreme Court, we are very hopeful that the justice will come. But justice delayed is justice denied. Already more than 30 years the justice has been denied. We hope that we may get it. But why we should run to the courts? There should be an internal machinery must be available, not only at the bank level, but at the industry level also. And our people are already organized. As the number of pensioners today is more than the number of employees who are working. Therefore, we have much experience. We have already done these bipartites when we were in service. We can definitely do justice to the pensioners also, because today, if the banks are flourishing with all these developments, all these the profitability, etc., there is a share of these pensioners also. We have given our blood and sweat to this organization. We have worked for more than 35-40 years when we were in service, and even after retirement also. We are the brand ambassadors of the banking industry, who are spreading that the public sector banks and the banks should flourish. So in this decision, I only request that, because we don't have money to go to the press and issue any advertisement, etc., we depend on only the media. The media should come to our rescue, and you must highlight that the bank pensioners organization do reserve a forum at the IB level or at the industry level to put forth their demands. This is only one demand which I am going to talk. All other things our President has spoken. If you have any other questions, our people are there. Suprito is there, our General Secretary is there. They will respond. I once again thank you for having attended this today's our press conference in large number. We hope that our struggle will start from the Kerala, our struggle will start from the Cochin or Ernakulam, and it has to reach Delhi, our parliament. We wholly dependent on you. Thank you very much.
Friends, I am Suprita Sarkar, General Secretary of the organization, which is going to have its 5th triennial conference tomorrow and day after tomorrow at the hall of Cochin Municipal Corporation. I am really grateful to all of you, the members of the print media and the public press media, who have attended in large numbers. It is my appeal to your establishment that the news of the conference that is going to take place tomorrow and day after tomorrow should get a very wide publicity throughout the country, and I hope that he will be telling something about the very legitimate demands of this organization. You know, our full name is All India Bank Pensioners and Retirees Confederation. Its short name is AIBPARC, AIBPARC. We have 23 affiliates in the nationalized banks, in private sector banks, and in RRBs, and several lakhs of members we do have in different parts of the country. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, the persons whom you will see in our conference, they are senior as well as super senior citizens. The minimum age in most cases of a member of our organization is 60 years plus 1 day, and the maximum, you will be surprised, tomorrow a person may come whose age is 98 years. We have no limit. We have centurions also. Let God give them good health. Our only point is very clear. We have been subjected to discrimination. Central government employees get pension, state government employees get pension, Reserve Bank of India employees get pension, NABARD employees get pension. There is a common rule and a common custom. Whenever salary division for the serving employees and officers takes place, after a given interval, there is a kind of upgradation, improvement, updation of the pension of the senior citizens also. But in the banking system, it is being denied for more than 40 years. It is a gross injustice. It is written in the book. It is written in the statute. IBA is deliberately telling lies, and government of India is pretending as if they are not seeing, but they know everything. IBA knows everything. Government knows everything. We only want that something is got to be done. We are very unhappy that government is making unnecessary delay for the simple reason that the pensioners' number come down. They are dying every day in this part of the country or that part of this vast country. The 8 lakh pensioners and family pensioners taken together, every day some of them are going to the other world. Government probably wants to test our patience. They want to see that if we can make a delay of 1 year, a few lakhs will die. If we can make a delay of 2, 3, 4 years, our liability will come down. This is a ruthless joke against which we are protesting. Our point is very, very clear. We have, in any civilization, the success of a civilization depends upon how you deal with the children and how we deal with the older persons. India, being one of the finest and oldest civilization of the world, must behave in a civilized world with its senior citizens. The senior citizens' voice must be heard. They are wanting to tell you something, and that something is got to be heard. It is to be assessed with sensitivity and proper requirement to do justice to the people. We have given you a press brief in which we have lucidly written what our brief demands are. It is my appeal to you all, kindly see to it that we get enough publicity. With these few words, I thank you profusely, my dear friends.
പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട പ്രസ് സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഒരു കാര്യം മാത്രം ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെ ഓർപ്പിക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം പെൻഷൻ അപ്ഡേഷൻ നടത്താതിരിക്കാൻ പാർലമെൻറ്റിൽ ചോദിക്കുന്ന ചോദ്യങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്ഥിരം പറയുന്ന മറുപടി അതിനുള്ള പ്രൊവിഷൻ പെൻഷൻ റെഗുലേഷൻ ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഓൾറെഡി ആചാര്യജിയൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ റെഗുലേഷൻ 35(1), that is the clause where the specific issue of pension updation is mentioned. It's very clear. Another thing that IBA and government is saying is there are no funds with the banks. If you look at the growth of the pension corpus, as on 31/3/2019, it was around 3,19,000 and odd crores. As on 31/3/2025, it has come to 4,56,000 and odd crores. Average around 22,700 crores growth is every year. As Acharya said, the cost of updation is less than 4,000 crores a year. More than 5 times that amount is available every year. That is one thing. Another thing is, for those who have retired those who have joined the bank after 2010, there is a new pension scheme. And those people, they have a separate corpus. So anybody who has joined up to 31/3/2010 only will get pension from this corpus. And if a person joined on 31/3/2010, after 35 years he will retire in 2045.
even if he is going to live average 20 years, say 2065, after that there will be nobody to draw pension from this fund. By that time, another thing is the number of pensioners are coming down. So the corpus will be increasing in an accelerated way. This 22,000 now may become 32,000 or 42,000 like that. So by 2065, a substantial huge amount will be there in the corpus with nobody to draw pension from that corpus. This fund will be taken by the banks and or the government. Actually, these are the funds surrendered by us and meant for our welfare. That's not being given to us, and that will be looted by somebody. That is the situation. So there is no reason why we should not be given updation. They are finding some excuse, and every time some MP asks in Parliament, the minister IBA or the DFS, they give a false statement, and the minister is reading that false statement. Now the court also has finally agreed that whatever we are saying, that's all documentary proof. 35-1, this funds availability, everything is in documents. So we are hoping that 29th our case is coming up. We don't know whether they will hear it that day or will again postpone. Anyway, that is the situation. As Acharya was saying, or Suprataji was saying, every day some of us are leaving the world. So they may be waiting for the day when everybody has gone, perhaps. That is the situation. So tragic. So I would request your help in supporting our cause through your media. And once again, I thank you all for joining us here. Any questions you have, you may ask, please.
Any questions? No, I only want to add one thing. There is what is called a Nakara judgment, historic judgment, where Supreme Court had held that pension is not a charity or bounty. It is a deferred wage. When wage revision takes place, pension revision cannot be separated from wage revision. Both are inseparable. Wage revision and pension revision, both are inseparable. This is the Supreme Court judgment, what is called Nakara judgment, saying that it is not a charity, it is not a bounty. The pensioners have earned this pension because of their past services, either to the banking institution or to the government, whatever it is. So, when there is such a categorical judgment is there, instead of honoring that judgment, again making us to go to the court, and again the same number, instead of Nakara case, it will become secular case, that's all. But the effect of the judgment will be ultimately the same. But should we be forced to go to the court? So this is one additional point I just want to tell you.
So friends, I would also request that tomorrow afternoon 5 o'clock we have our inaugural session. Justice V.J. Arun is inaugurating our conference. I would request all of you to please join us there and report our deliberations there, please. And now I will request you to join us for lunch.
So at least one question, some questions you have got?
Which floor? Which floor?
Restaurant, first floor.
You can put the question in either in Malayalam or in English or Hindi.
എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഇതിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയങ്ങൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൂടുതൽ ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷൻ കിട്ടാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ
നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രോബ്ലം ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞു. പിന്നെ സമ്മേളനമാണ് വേറെ കൂടുതൽ
ഓക്കെ. സമാപന ചടങ്ങ് 29-ാം തീയതിയാണ്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബിസിനസ് സെക്ഷൻ 29-ാം തീയതിയാണ് തീരുക. 29-ാം തീയതി വൈകിട്ട് തീരും. മോർണിംഗ് 10 o'clock to ഈവനിങ് 5 o'clock. അങ്ങനെയാണ്. 28th actually, before the inaugural session we have a rally from St. Albert's College to Town Hall.
സ്വകാര്യ മേഖലയിലെ ബാങ്കിങ്ങിലെ പെൻഷൻകാരും അതുപോലെ പൊതുമേഖലയിലെ ബാങ്കിങ് പെൻഷൻകാരുടെയൊക്കെ സ്കീമുകൾ വ്യത്യസ്തമായിരിക്കില്ലേ?
ഏത് പൊതുമേഖലയും പ്രൈവറ്റ് സെക്ടറും? ഇല്ലില്ല, എല്ലാം സെയിം ആണ്. കാരണം all these are dependent on the agreement in 1993. IBAയും ബാങ്കിലെ ജീവനക്കാരുടെ സംഘടനകളും തമ്മിലുള്ള എഗ്രിമെന്റിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് 93 എഗ്രിമെന്റിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണ് ഇത് വന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇവർക്കെല്ലാം ഒരേ പേ സ്കെയിൽസ് ആണ്, ഒരേ സർവീസ് കണ്ടീഷൻസ് ആണ്, ഒരേ പെൻഷൻ സ്കീമാണ്.
പെൻഷൻ ഫണ്ടിൽ ഇത്രയും കോടികൾ കിടക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് പെൻഷൻ പരിഷ്കരണത്തിന് തടസ്സമായിട്ട് പറയുന്നത്?
അത് ഞങ്ങൾക്കും അറിയില്ല. അതാണ് എവറി ഇയർ സോ ഹ്യൂജ് ഫണ്ട്സ് ആർ കമ്മിങ്.
കോടതിയെ സമീപിച്ചില്ലേ?
കോടതിയെ സമീപിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. കോടതിയെ സമീപിച്ച് ഇപ്പൊ കോടതിയിൽ പോയി സുപ്രീം കോടതി വരെ എത്തി. സുപ്രീം കോടതിയിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഓരോ ദിവസവും ഇപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് ഈ കേരള ലോട്ടറി പറയില്ലേ, നാളെയെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞവർ കാത്തിരിക്കുക. ഇനിയിപ്പോ 29 തീയതി ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഓരോ ദിവസങ്ങളും കുറെ ഹിയറിങ്ങിന് വിളിച്ചു തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് തന്നെ ഇപ്പൊ അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ്സ് കുറെ ആയി. ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഇപ്പൊ സത്യം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ IBAയും ഗവൺമെന്റും ഒക്കെ കൊടുത്ത അഫിഡവിറ്റ് മുഴുവൻ കള്ളമാണെന്നുള്ളത് we could prove that whatever affidavit they had given was all false. It was misleading, just like they are misleading the parliament. So now they even the IBA people contacted us and said that you withdraw the case, we will settle. But we cannot believe them because we said to you settle first, then we will withdraw. You implement and then we will withdraw. But that they are not ready. The problem for them now is, if the court takes it seriously for filing a false affidavit, they can be taken to task by the court. That is the situation.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാനില്ല, ഈ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് വെയർ ഹൗസിംഗ് കോർപ്പറേഷനിലെ പെൻഷനേഴ്സിന് ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. 100-ലേറെ തവണ ഹൈക്കോടതി കേസ് പോസ്റ്റ്പോൺ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്.
അതാണ് സർക്കാരിന്റെ ഇടപെടുന്ന കാര്യമാകുമ്പോൾ അവര്, കാരണം പണ്ടൊരു ചൊല്ലുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഈ ഹു പേസ് ദ പൈപ്പർ കോൾസ് ദ ട്യൂൺ. സർക്കാരാണ് ജഡ്ജിക്കൊക്കെ ശമ്പളം കൊടുക്കുന്നത്, സർക്കാർ ഭരണം അവർ കേൾക്കുന്നത്. നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ കഴുതകളുടെ പോലെ ഇങ്ങനെ കയറി ഇറങ്ങി നടക്കുകയാണ്. അതാണ് സത്യം. അതിന് കൂടുതലെന്ത് ഞങ്ങളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ഇതിൽ പലരും മരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഈ സിംഗ്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആള് മരിച്ചു, അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ വൈഫ് കേസ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നു, അവരും മരിച്ചു. ഇപ്പൊ വന്നിട്ട് അവരുടെ അനന്തരാവകാശികൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആളില്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ പഞ്ചാബ് നാഷണൽ ബാങ്കിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളാണ്. അവരുടെ പഞ്ചാബ് നാഷണൽ ബാങ്ക് റിട്ടയർഡ് ഓഫീസേഴ്സ് വെൽഫെയർ അസോസിയേഷൻ എന്നിട്ട് സംഘടനയുണ്ട്. ആ സംഘടനയാണ് കേസ് നടത്തുന്നത്. ഇപ്പൊ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഐപാർക്ക് 2012 വന്നതിന് ശേഷം അവർക്ക് ഈ കേസ് വേണ്ട വിധത്തിൽ നടത്താൻ സാധിക്കാതെ വന്നതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഐപാർക്ക് അത് ഏറ്റെടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഒരു കക്ഷിയായിട്ട് ചേർന്ന് അങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ട് നടക്കുകയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും ലഞ്ചിന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാം. നാളത്തെ മറ്റന്നാളത്തെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ പരിപാടികളും കൂടെ കവർ ചെയ്ത് തരണം എന്ന് അപേക്ഷിക്കുകയാണ്. താങ്ക് യു.
ഈ പ്രസ് റിലീസിന്റെ എല്ലാ സോഫ്റ്റ് കോപ്പി നമ്മൾ അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, എല്ലാ ഇമെയിലിലേക്കും അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് വാട്സാപ്പിലേക്ക് അയച്ചു.
ഫസ്റ്റ് ഫ്ലോർ റെസ്റ്റോറന്റിലാണ് ലഞ്ച്.
Thank you very much.